Good afternoon, I'm Maria, and today we're going to sense different cards in order to respond to the question what is going on in the world right now and what is our role in it. So, we're all probably deeply perplexed by what is happening now in our universe, and are we going to the high vibration? Are we ascending? Are we going to the new earth, or is it all dark and gloom as it appears right now on the planet? So it's a bit of a confusion, isn't it? And I thought that today maybe we can get together and just ask the energy, what the energy can tell us on this subject, and feel really through the cards. Maybe there is a message for us on this journey, maybe it will uncover something that is happening. I'm just curious myself, to be honest, to see what answers come through. I receive some intuitive guidance on that as well, but it's sometimes nice to try a different method of connecting to a certain situation and seeing what comes through, and it's also fun. And the cards are very, very pretty, so we can sense them and come up with some conclusions perhaps. So I'm going to pick up 3 cards, and as always you can choose one of the cards when they lay on the table, which one is attracting you the most. So they're going to be closed and you're going to sense the energy. Which energy speaks to you the most, which one you feel relates to you. So perhaps that would be the timeline or that journey that you're taking on at the moment on planet Earth. And let's see what it comes. Card number 1. Card number 2 and card number 3. Okay, let's have a go. Okay, so to begin with, just sense which card responds to you the most. Which energy is attracting you, drawing you in the most at this moment, and that shall be your answer. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. And let's see card number 1. Oh, so we're being invited on a journey, looks like. On a journey of some exploration. It looks like an outward exploration, it looks like a labyrinth, but it probably means an inner exploration or a double. Unusual school that life is, that uniquely among many different other planets, it provides with an opportunity to study your inside in the outside. So it is a unique chance to see how your inner self is being portrayed in the outer world, which becomes so illusionary and so intriguing that sometimes we can get lost in the outside world, just like in the labyrinth. And we can entirely forget that the outside is in fact our inside, and all starts from within and then gets projected on the outside. This is a game, and we've signed up to this game in order to explore our inner self, because I feel like it wasn't that possible to explore the depth and the complexity of our spirit otherwise, that we had to almost breathe the energy outwards and create the multiple worlds, so then we can walk through them and explore ourselves through being in the physical world, which is quite interesting, really. And we can get lost certainly in that world, and many have been playing this game for a long time, and they have been going through the labyrinth and coming out of it, and going and coming out at the same entrance, not at the exit but at the entrance. So many people have been feeling maybe misguided or mistreated as well in life, and they've been getting upset and sad, and that could only lead them out to the same entrance, and they would need to go in the same labyrinth again in order to reach some sort of a central point, where I feel it's going to be like the ascension is going to be when we actually go through the labyrinth and we study everything, maybe not always trying to come out of the labyrinth, but kind of accepting it and understanding it and exploring every part of it, every particular aspect of ourselves, angry, happy, sad, upset, I don't know, mistreated, mistreating others, all possible variations of being in this planet. So then we can embrace and accept all parts of the labyrinth, and then I feel that from the middle part we can then, it can all rise up. So it almost feels like we don't need to look for the way out, because there is no way out. There is a way in, and then there is understanding, and then there is growth, which is quite an unusual message, but this is what I sense at this moment, that once we step into that, we are in the game. And the more we interact with the game, consciously, and being present and understanding that it's only a part of us that we've chosen to come up with in this life, the more this awareness should bring us to the middle of the labyrinth, that place with this little kite that we're looking for. There is a kite here, don't know if you can see, it's a red and white kite, and I feel that this is where we are heading. Some sort of a unity with ourselves, peace. I feel that peace shall help us to raise ourselves and raise our vibration. So the message I'm getting is that we don't need to demolish the labyrinth. We don't need to get upset with it or, try to exit. We just need to kind of accept the labyrinth, spend some time looking through it, and then sit down and meditate in the middle of the labyrinth with the red kite. And if we all do that, I feel that these trees will change the way that they look, and they will be much more welcoming and smiling, because they represent that part of ourselves which is not familiar with this energy, with this situation. It's a part of us which is curious, bewildered, unknowing, wanting to explore. And I'm getting that sometimes the fearful things that we see out in the outside world, things that scare us, is only like a scared part of ourselves, which we don't always feel or focus on, because we've got so many aspects. That's why we've chosen to come into the physical separation shape, so we can see each one aspect like in a school. It's a very good visual representation of our inner self. So let's say if you have an angry part, this angry part may be portrayed in an angry person in your life, or a bad situation, for example, or some fear-related journey. So that's like a demonstration. It's like an example that they give in school, so you can learn about that part of yourself and come to peace with it. That's what it feels like. And there is this tale here. Somebody already went to the labyrinth, and I feel that labyrinth is definitely calling for entry, if you feel like that, if you feel ready for discovery, if you feel ready to face different parts of yourself and not get upset because they might look strange or bewildering. But it's okay. It's only a shape that they take. It's only a way to demonstrate it to you. But you shouldn't be afraid of different parts of yourself. You shouldn't be scared by them, because it's all about making peace and making love, if I can say so, with different parts of yourselves, reuniting, re-embracing them. And then I feel all these white flags will rise up. And there is this wonderful red shoes, so somebody's already on the journey. It's great. It almost feels like these shoes represent the fact that you're in the labyrinth, but you're also watching the labyrinth outside. You're here resting on the grass and looking at yourself, doing this exploration. So maybe it's like a higher self, so to speak, watching your physical self going through the worldly explorations and just saying, take your time, my dear. There is so much to explore. There is eternity in front of you. Take your time. There is no rush. And I'll see you back when you're finished, and we'll put on the red shoes again, and we're gonna go and have some great time on the other side. And now let's see the card number 2. That energy is very different from the previous one. This is very deep. This is for those who like a deep exploration. I feel this is for brave souls, for somebody who wants to really, really go far beyond and explore every little forest on the planet Earth and every little shrub, every little flower and path. And they are on a study. So I feel that those who chose this card, you're on some sort of a thesis or exploration study of planet Earth, and you've signed up for some kind of a, I don't know, multiple level of exploration. So it's not just a generic getting to know planet Earth, it's an in-depth study of certain subjects. So it's almost like I can see you sitting in a class or a study room on the other side with other students, and you're given a paper where you can select options what you want to study on planet Earth, and they say, okay, you can come and study what it's like to be human, what it's like to be upset by other people, what it's like to be mistreated, what it's like to experience fear, anger, control, lust, envy, things like that. So it feels like this is for really, really serious explorers who decided to take on this path. And these souls tend to stay maybe a little bit longer until they complete the thesis, because there's quite a lot to study and have quite a lot to see. They have to study each one of these plants, each one of them, of these flowers and plants. They collect like specimen or something like that. They collect information about a certain feeling. I'm getting feeling, people's reactions, people's emotions, solutions, how people behave in different situations, how energies combine on planet Earth. Are they good growing together like this, or would they be better off growing somewhere else? So it's something about the energy manifested on planet Earth in different shapes and how they interact. So something about human relationships, communication and emotions, and how they find solutions for it. So it almost feels like humans are being placed to experience different situations for a reason and to find different solutions for these situations, and they're almost being watched by the outside powers, and they're being seen, okay, this is how they resolve it, very good, they find a solution, this is how they don't resolve it, maybe next time they'll find a better solution for it. So it's like a game being reenacted so that we can learn. But those souls who chose this path, I feel that they are kind of observing and collecting information. It's more about collecting information, maybe participating as well, but overall, after the participation, it's about getting to know these different plants and how they react to each other. And these are very deep souls, and souls who are very attentive, very focused on their work. Again, going in depth, very, I would say, maybe clever and intelligent, so they like exploration a lot. And they can sometimes maybe even get lost in this exploration because there is so much to explore and the path goes on and on and on. So I feel that some birds are watching you as you're exploring these situations, and you have invisible or metaphorical friends that are helping you not to get lost in this situation and to come back. So there is always somebody waiting for you. And I feel that the bird would sing if you go too far or too deep in a certain situation and you don't need to linger there. The bird will sing and you're gonna come out of it. So listen to that voice of that bird metaphorically in your life, whoever represents that bird, and they're here to tell you, okay, maybe take another road, or it's enough, or you're getting too deep into the forest. And there is a man there with dogs. Let's have a look at him. There he is. Yeah, and I feel that maybe it's you, that person who chose this card, and there you are exploring and like a scientist, being really interested. I know he doesn't look like a scientist, but that's the energy I get from this man, that he's exploring and he's maybe not interfering much with what is going on. His role on this planet is more to observe and to get information. He can't interfere too much because the bird is waiting and they have to go up and back to their planet again, or where they're from. But he's got enough time, but at the same time he's got limited time on each project. If you understand this message, it's long, but it's limited. He shouldn't linger too much. So that's the message for people who chose it. I feel that explore, but know when you need to come back. And there's this funny being crossing his path. Let's have a look at him. That one over there. And I feel that this is kind of a misleading, deluded energies that sometimes we come across with in our life. And they sometimes try to cross our path and say, oh, I'm here. Don't you want to come with me? Go on, let's go explore, some fun. But I feel that no, we shouldn't get distracted with these energies. We should continue, go to the bird and go back home when we need, because we can go forever with this strange being. And I feel that they like fun, parties, alcohol, I don't know, lots of love and things like that. And this can get us caught up on the earthy plane. So we can pat him on the back and say, beautiful, lovely, you know, maybe have a little laugh with him, but we should go back to the bird. That's important. So yes, this is for explorations on planet Earth, doing it right now, at this moment. And the card number 3. This is a slightly sad card. I feel that these people are very sensitive. The ones who chose this card, they're very, very loving, full of heart, and they're very sensitive, and they're a bit upset at what is going on with the planet right now. They feel that there's a lot of mistreatment or injustice on planet Earth, and they get a bit upset because they're very loving beings and they come to this planet to help the planet and to give the planet love and this energy of birds, like flying, like freedom, like connection. They're very sensitive. They're a bit like children, innocent kind of souls. They come here to share a little bit of this innocence with the planet Earth and let it connect again. And they're doing it in a very gentle and soft manner, you know, not necessarily being teachers or speaking loud, just by being who they are with their energy. They're very gentle. I would say, I don't know if it's a little bit angelic, not exactly angels, but like innocent souls from another dimension who are here to seed love. And they may not realize it, they may not be in the healing profession as such, they may not be spreading the word, but they may form beautiful families, they may show a lot of love to their family and to other families, to show an example of who they are. They may start maybe like a school or a course, maybe for children or craft making, something like that. They're spreading this energy in the human form, so they're helping people just naturally connect to who they need to be. But I'm getting that this type of souls are very upset at the moment because of what's happening, and they feel a little bit lost and a little bit maybe even unwanted, because the amount of love they have and they're ready to share is not always equally received, and sometimes just gets lost and diluted in the heavy energies of Earth. And I can see this animal looking just earthy energies that sometimes can be confusing for these souls. They don't always know how to behave with them, so sometimes they just hide a bit, and maybe they go to their own place in the forest and they sit there just to connect and just to find a place which reminds them of their own home planet, which is quite difficult from different from planet Earth. And they need to find a space which reminds them of their own planet, because they really miss it. And they have their own little dolls and crafts and hairbrushes, you know, just to create a little comfort that they lose on planet Earth. So I feel that these souls need some re-encouragement right now and some support. And I feel that the message is, you're doing great. Please don't get discouraged from what you're doing. Keep spreading your love, and we know it's very difficult. but there are butterflies with you, and the birds, you know, and the squirrel, they will all be helping you on your journey. And we know sometimes it's really, really hard. And we know sometimes you feel very oppressed and very negative from the local energies. But know that it will pass. It won't be there forever. You will have a good shower. When you come back home, you will not feel it anymore. Take it as a maybe learning curve or a little experience that you have to go through. Remember about your inner kindness, your softness, your gentle approach, and just do the best you can. Don't judge yourself, do the best you can. You're here for a reason and you have to continue. Your local support, because this is what you signed up for, and things will get better. In the end, they will get better. We're going through some dark, difficult period at the moment, and many of us feel the need to hide in the forest and find their own space, which is fine, but ultimately the purpose is to connect and to get all together. So as much as you would like to hide somewhere in the forest, make sure that you connect with others just the same way, because remember, the ultimate purpose is us all to be together, connected, reunited. This is what we came here for. So take this time to maybe combat any inner feelings, worries, doubts, and then come back to the open again, and we must reunite. This is the message. Okay, how was that? That was quite interesting, wasn't it? It wasn't exactly what I planned to talk about, but you know, it never goes the way I plan. I noticed that. It came more as your journey on this planet, maybe some sort of a multi-dimensional journey, and what your soul is like, what your soul is going through. And I felt that the messages were quite interesting, weren't they? About just our generic role, what we're doing here at this time, and what can help us maybe, and some little guidances on that path. So the first one was Labyrinth, and I feel that this was more of a generic explanation of what we're doing on planet Earth. I quite like the expression that planet Earth is the outside, or maybe our reality is the outside, that is being like a breath of our soul, which is then showing in the physical space. So it is like our inside, but being shown in a separate objects on the outside. And this is the labyrinth that we go and we explore, and we can get lost in it. And it's just an exploration. So I feel that maybe for people who chose this card, it's just a reminder that the outside is a connection to your inside, and that sometimes it's all about exploring, and sometimes you don't have to find the way out. Maybe you don't have to worry and feel how this is gonna end and what we need to do, but just maybe sit down in the middle and meditate and unite with all that's happening, kind of feel it, just accommodate it in yourself, because there is a reason why we're here, there's a reason why this exact moment is happening, these exact events are happening. So it's like some sort of a portrait of our inside, and when we embrace it all, I feel that this is when the trees will start to change and will start to smile a little bit more, and maybe, I don't know, branches will start growing and colors will start changing and they will start dancing. So I feel that the message is, yes, just explore and embrace all that's going on, unite with everything. And don't forget that you're the observer at the same time, you're the viewer. So yes, you are in the labyrinth, but don't worry, you are viewing yourself in the labyrinth too. So if you ever get too concerned or too lost, you can always go back, one step back, and see yourself watching yourself in the labyrinth. And that should give some sort of encouragement or message about your journey. Okay, and next one is the Fairy Path. That's quite an interesting one. I get a very strong message of exploring here and explorers. So I feel that people who chose this card are definitely some sort of scientists, spiritual scientists who are coming here to understand what kind of plants are growing on planet Earth. Metaphorically, of course, because I feel that the meaning is what kind of people come here, what kind of energies they manifest, what kind of emotions we're going through, and most importantly, how we get along with each other, because we're all very different plants and trees and flowers, and some of us somehow manage to grow together, but is it good for us? Are we getting on, being in the same land, or how we are connecting to different plants around us. So it's something about the geography, spiritual geography if you like, about the placement of different energies and their interaction, and then seeing how they find solution in this interaction. So it's like an experiment, a big experiment on planet Earth, putting all these people together from different places, from different planets and dimensions, and putting them in different countries. I feel that maybe this represents countries, and seeing how they get on, how they find peace, you know, how they find friendship, love, collaboration, connection, you know, can they maybe travel somewhere else and then find more similar plants and get together with them? So many different variations, but you're the one who is observing that, and you're the one who is collecting these specimens and bringing them back. And the message is, explore, you've got time, explore, but don't forget that this is a finite journey, so you don't have to get lost there, you know, you can always come back. And it's two messages at the same time. Yes, you can go for exploration, yes, you're encouraged to, yes, it is your journey. At the same time, just remember that, you know, there is an end to it. There is an end to each exploration. And remember, when the bird is calling, this is a message maybe to come back. And remember about this funny man here, you know, who wants to party. And it's some sort of I don't know, I think what people call devil maybe. I don't know. It's something like this kind of, you know, that kind of a playful energy, which temptation, that's it. It's a temptation which says, come on, let's go, let's do this, it's exciting, let's go to the party. Yes, inverted commas, but you can look at it, you know, you don't have to hide from him. Look at him, you can even, you know, pat him on the back and say, oh, good boy, you know, but you can go your way and I'll go my way, I've got my job to do. So don't get lost in temptations, in other words. Okay. And finally, the youngest daughter. That's very interesting. I feel a lot of love and sadness about this card. Extreme, I don't know, I just feel like hugging this little girl, or you, who this girl represents. And I feel that you're experiencing a lot of pain and suffering because of what's happening on planet Earth in many different ways. What's been happening. You were sent here as light, as a beautiful being, to spread your love, you know, to be kind and gentle and soothing. And sometimes it's just hard for you to deal with the earthy energies because they're heavy. They are heavy. Yes, yes, yes. And let's be open about it. It's difficult. So this forest sometimes can be like that on a person. So it's understandable that you need your space sometimes, and you need to sit with yourself and connect and replenish. That's fine. But I feel the message is, try and go past that, which is difficult. Try and go past that and go and connect to other people. Because there are others like this. There are other beings like you who are also feeling sad and upset, and who are also very gentle and have a wonderful intention. And together you can create that peace on planet Earth. Together you can connect, and you'll be stronger and you won't feel as sad. So yes, you do feel sad, and yes, it is true, and it's good to acknowledge it. And yet there is a reason why you're here in this particular situation and context. So maybe after you spend some time in the forest, go out and then see your friends again and connect to the like-minded spirits. Wow, it's really great, isn't it? I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I felt when the cards were closed, I didn't look, I felt mostly connected with this one. And interesting. It explained a lot, I feel, about my own path, because I always feel like I explore a lot on planet Earth, and I really enjoy new energies, and sometimes I go very deep, and sometimes it's easy to get lost as well. So it's quite an interesting reminder. But I also feel connected to this and to this at the same time, and maybe you experience the same. As I say, these cards, it's not very literal, 1 or 2 or 3, you know, this is, in the old days we used to choose just one option. Now we know that we're multiple beings, we're multidimensional beings, we can be many things at the same time. Yes, one energy will call you the most, but other energies can respond to you as well. So it's all about how you feel. It's all about what energies do you feel connected to? What do you feel you're doing on planet Earth? You know, what is your role here from your energy? So you can ask your energy about it. You can talk to your frequency. You can ask it questions. Just sit down and imagine if you could do whatever you wanted, if the path was completely open to you, what would you do? How would you help the planet Earth, or how would you help yourself? It's all already written in the plan. It's all already happening. It's your book. You're living that book. It's not a secret from you. You just have to feel it. Maybe not look for the answers so much outside and ask other people. Feel it for yourself. Just feel it. What would you like to do? What would make you really happy? What is your soul asking for? Just sit down with it and imagine. Imagine, and through imagination and the fantasy, that flow of sensations, sometimes the truth comes out, and sometimes we let out our inner sensations and we can really understand our role. And be kind to yourself as well. Even if you're going through some very difficult problems, it is okay, it is understandable, and we acknowledge it. At the same time, give yourself love for coming here, and for being so kind and brave and sweet, and for keeping your energy. Maintain your energy like a flower. Don't let it get dispersed or lost. Just maintain your energy in your heart, and you'll serve this place the best way. Thank you very much.